swarm cells, and I think we're gonna take my 2 strong hives that I really like. I like the temperament. I like they seem to be very resistant to mites. Just overall, they've survived the winter very easily. The queen's laying good. Everything looks good on them. I don't hardly feed them, and they're still doing great. So we're gonna take both of them. We're gonna pull a frame of eggs and larvae and some cat brood, and we're gonna pile a whole bunch of bees into these nukes I made. I made these last year. They're little 5-frame nukes that I use to make splits on hives that aren't super strong but are having those swarming tendencies. I just put them in that because they're usually small. And I brought 3 of them because I may drop one of my hives down to a 5-framer until she can build up some more resources. So that's what's going on today. Just trying to get these girls so they don't start swarming on me too early. Here we are, the 19th of March, and I've seen a lot of swarms here in North Carolina, from the East Coast to the mountaintops. Everybody's swarming, so I want to get ahead of the game. I did actually split one of my hives already because they had a cat queen cell. I don't want to make any more queens out of that hive because it's not a super great hive. It's a swarm I caught last year. So I don't really want to catch more or make more queens out of that one. But for the time being, just to have another hive to generate some honey off of would be nice. So that's what we're gonna do with that one. Other than that, I'm just checking hives, making sure everybody's got plenty of food, plenty of foragers, plenty of bees, and the hives that I know for a fact are stacked with bees, we're gonna dump a whole bunch. We're gonna pull a frame of eggs, frame of pollen, frame of capped brood. That's 1, 2, 3 frames, and then a frame of honey. We're gonna put them in here with 1 empty frame, so that's 5 frames altogether, an undrawn frame. So that gives us our 5 frames, and then we're gonna take and pile a whole bunch of bees in here. We're gonna take bees from every single one of the hives, put them in here, and it's pretty much simulating a building hive for queen cells. The only difference is I'm not actually grafting the queens. I'm just letting them do it naturally. And the only reason that is because I just don't have time to graft right now. With my work schedule, we got rain coming in tomorrow. So if I was to build a builder hive right now, I'd have to come back tomorrow to graft the queens, and we got rain coming in. I don't have time to do that. Working all weekend and stuff, so I'm just gonna build these nukes up, fill them with food, eggs, larvae, cat brood, and I'm gonna let the bees do the work. And then once they start capping them, then whatever I can, I'll cut out and create more hives with it. And I'm also gonna be requeening all these after honey. Once we pull honey, I'll be eliminating the queens that are in there now and putting in new queens, because all of these queens are at least from last year, maybe even the year before. I know my swarm boxes from the year before last because they were a swarm last year. So that's the plan today. We're gonna fire up the smoker and get to it. Now we're gonna see if we can find some eggs and stuff. So this is a good looking frame right here. But what we want to do is, most important thing, this is actually a good frame to take. It's got a lot of pollen and some larvae. It don't have a lot of eggs, so I'd rather, yeah, it does. It's pretty good. So what I'll do is, I'm gonna take this one. Alright, so this is all capped brood. It actually looks like they're starting to hatch here. So we'll move on to the next one. But I do want a frame of this in there so that it can keep generating bees as bees die off in this hive, in the nuke. So we'll just leave that one shit to the side. Alright, got some emerging brood, lots of emerging brood. So first thing we want to look for is, we have any queen cells, and do we have eggs? Oh yeah, we got a young larva here. So this is actually the frame I'm gonna take, because this is a all wax frame, and this is the one I want to cut my queen cells off of. So we're gonna switch these. Just want to make sure she's not on here. And the reason we want to pack these nukes whenever we're doing splits like this is because all of the bees that have flown out of this hive at least once have done an orientation flight. And if you move those bees over to that colony, to that hive, then they're going to fly right back to here, without a doubt. There's really nothing you can do about that unless you like put limbs and stuff in front of your hives, and I would just rather pile up the that's a big drone. I would just rather pile up the bees in there and let the old ones fly back than to do anything else. And nothing in that one, so we're gonna keep looking. I really got to find her before I go moving these bees around. Once I find her, I need to grab a clip. Put her in a queen clip, to be honest with you. Alright, I'm gonna cut y'all off. I'm gonna look for this queen, and then I'll bring y'all right back. So here she is. She's right there in the middle of the frame. Where'd she go? Right there. So we're just gonna take her. I like to capture queens over top of the hive. So if I drop her before I can able to close this thing up, I still got her. She'll fall right into the hive. Alright, so I got her in there. So we're just gonna sit her right there. She's good. So now we can do what we need to manipulate the hives. What I want to do is, I want to go ahead and clean all this stuff up right here, since I know where she is. Because I don't like a bunch of stuff hanging off my frames, getting caught, rolling queens. Just not a fan. So what I want right now is, I want a frame of pollen. That's the main thing I want right now. That'll work. Not a lot, but a little bit. The reason we want that is because we want the. So we're gonna sit this in here. And then I'm gonna get one of these ones with some young larvae on it. We'll keep that one in there. Take this one. We got eggs in here. I got to make sure they got larvae. Yep, they got eggs. So we'll leave this one. Take this one out. Yeah, this is the older bees. We'll put this one right here in the middle. And this will pull all the nurse bees up to the top. Once I move this top box to the up top. Alright, slide this one right here and here. And the next thing I want to do is, I got pollen, I got eggs. Why y'all attacking my... Y'all probably can't hear nothing. We're gonna let her out now. There she is. See a bottom right now. There she comes, and there she goes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, let this young lady go. Just trying to get all the bees off of her so I can see her so I don't squish her. Want to come in here and watch? She right at the edge. Nope, other way, girl. There you go. She's going right on down. She'll go down there. There we go. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. Yeah, a way to prevent some of that time that it took me to look for the queen. You could come in here like the day before, a week before, and you could put like a spare box, take the top box off, put an empty box on, shake all of your frames down into the bottom box. Then put your queen excluder on, put your top box back on, and within an hour or two, you could probably come back and all of your nurse bees would have worked back through the queen excluder to get back up to the bees that they are essentially nursing, the larva and the pupa, and cap and brood and stuff like that. So that's one way to get things done a little bit faster. I just was going to split 2 hives. If you had that's what a lot of guys do. I know Bob Benny does it. Not sure about Cayman and them, but I know Bob Benny does a lot of videos on how to speed up the process of making nukes and finding queens and making sure you're not taking your queen with you and stuff like that. So he's got some really good videos, and that's where I learned a lot of, you know, what I know from him and David Burns. So what I'm planning on doing with this hive, because this was a nuke from last year, I mean a swarm for last year, that's what this queen was. So I'm hoping I can look in here and she's got fresh eggs and stuff. It's not gonna be a lot of bees in here. I tried to dump some, but I didn't want to take too many. So she's got a few frames. So what I'd like to do is, I'd like to take some of those bees from that mean hive and dump in here to boost both of these hives up. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna go open up that top hive, that brown hive and the blue hive. And they're really mean. So bear with me. And I'm gonna bring the frames over here and dump them right inside of these 2 boxes right here. My battery's going low. So got everything straightened out. Reduced the numbers in the brown hive. Pretty much reduced the numbers in every hive except for these single brood chambers, single boxes. I've dumped some more bees in there. They ain't really got a whole lot. So I wanted to boost them up some from when I made that split. Hey everybody. Didn't get to make an outro yesterday, day before yesterday when I did that video. So figured I'd get on here and just kind of explain. Sorry about the microphone and the bee noise. I did get a microphone, so I'll have that fixed next video. But I wanted to get up here and at least show y'all. This is kind of an outro for the last video and an intro for the next video, but I only had 3 of those nukes that I had made for the queens that I'm currently making right now. So what I've actually done is I've actually made some more nukes. As you can see, they don't have tops or bottoms. I just threw them together right quick, and they are in by no means perfect. There's some junk wood I had laid around. I'm gonna throw a coat of primer on it and a coat of paint, and they'll be good to go. These are treated with that EcoBoost wood treatment, all natural wood treatment. So far so good. I have one of them in the weather all year over the winter, and we did get kind of a harsher winter this year, more cold weather, rain, sleet, snow. So, but one of them did get some cracking on one of these joints, but this is actually plywood, It's like the second cheapest plywood, 3/4 inch plywood you can buy. So if you got a little better quality plywood, it probably wouldn't be too bad. So I got 4 nukes. But I actually think I made a 5th one and put it outside. But they're all gonna get a coat of primer, coat of paint. It might get 2 coats of paint, just so they can last me a couple of seasons. I don't expect to get 10 years out of these, but if they'll last me for a few years till I can kind of upgrade my shop and bang these out a little bit easier, because these took me about 45 minutes a piece. And that's just me, just, you know, trying to use every bit of scrap and calculating so I don't waste anything. So, but that's what I was up to today. Again, sorry about the outro. I'll try to get this video out pretty soon. Anything else I want to say? Oh, I did want to really quick just go over. I know I didn't explain it too much, but so what I was doing out there was I was making a split, but I was making it in the sense that I had more bees in what I took with me than normal, because you need pollen and honey or nectar for the nurse bees to consume in order to give them the ability to make royal jelly, to produce royal jelly. If they don't have that food source, if they don't have that pollen, they won't even feed. They'll actually cannibalize the brood that's in there because they don't have enough food. So I wanted to make sure that I got them enough pollen and honey. Secondly, queens take a lot more royal jelly than just regular worker bees or even drones do. So that influx of workers will allow them to create more queens in order for me to get a better yield out of them. To me, you're always going to have maybe one queen that doesn't quite develop right, or isn't fed enough, or doesn't mate well, or I'd say like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20. Some guys have perfected it to where they know how to pack a box. I didn't have quite as many bees in the boxes as in the nukes as I wanted to, but I'm pretty sure it got the job done. I'll check it in a couple days. I've still got a few days left on that. So with that being said, thank y'all all for watching. I'll have another video coming out a couple of days after I go out there and move the queen cells around, and I'll definitely keep y'all posted on how that went. So thank everybody for watching. I appreciate it. If you like the video, you know, if you want to see some more content, then please subscribe and hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. And y'all have a good one.